Hey, it's Mike. Today I'm going to talk about one of the biggest things that I keep seeing over and over again when it comes to online business, and that's why people never even start. And I think this is probably the most common thing that I've seen thousands of times. I've had so many friends, family, just people that I know. They're curious, they're interested in what I do, and they've seen other people start online businesses, but they never make that first step. And that's the one that you need to really get over. And in this video, I'm going to talk about exactly why that happens and what you can do to just get over that hump and to really just take the plunge. Because one of the things that is so cool about the internet is it allows anyone to try. Like, there's so many ways that you can start so easily and just put yourself out there. And I'm even going to get into some of the psychological and philosophical aspects of, you know, there's so many opportunities to be creative. For one, there's opportunities to overcome fears. There's so many good things that can happen from just, at least just trying and just starting. So the first thing that I think is one of the biggest things is the fear of looking stupid, or the fear of not being good enough. And I think everyone is going to sort of look a little bit stupid at first, or I should say, when you first start trying to build something, whether it's a YouTube channel or a website or a social media page or any type of online business, at first, your product or whatever you're putting out is not going to be that great. And I think that's sort of part of the process. And for me, that's sort of also part of the fun, because you're overcoming these fears and you're overcoming part of your ego that's telling you, oh, you shouldn't do this. You're going to look stupid, or people are going to laugh at you, or your friends or your family are going to write bad comments, or they're going to gossip about you. But, you know, in life, so many things take courage. So many things require you to put yourself out there and to be vulnerable. And so I think every time, especially the first few times when you put yourself out there online, like let's say you announce that you're going to offer coaching or consulting, or that you're going to, you're going to start a new social media page, or you want to do this, and you're afraid that it might look cringe or whatever, or you're not going to get any good feedback or followers. I think just the act of doing that it's powerful for your self-development. And so what if it fails? You can always just move on from there and try something else, or it's not the end of the world. So I think the next thing I want to talk about is that you don't have to take huge risks at first. The internet, there are places, there are ways to do it where you don't have to let all your friends and family know that you're starting an online business, or you're trying to take the plunge into whatever it might be. You can do it anonymously at first, and you can do it in ways where no one really knows you're doing it. And this is really powerful, even though in these days it really seems like everything online is being monitored, and there's surveillance everywhere. I remember when I first started 20 years ago in my journey, and my first little projects online, it felt like everything that I was doing, no one knew about. I was completely anonymous. My websites and my buying and selling things on eBay, because at the time I was just like, I was a teenager, and I didn't really even want to be known or want people to know that I was doing it. It was just more as an experiment. But even these days, things have changed so much since then. But you can start whatever it might be, a YouTube channel or a website or a new business. You can do it under a different name. You can not tell your friends and family. You can just put stuff out really quickly, put out, a couple little test videos, or you could, even if you want to do something like buy ads to a sales page or whatever it might be, you can do it at first with very low risk. And if it doesn't work, then so be it. You can always go back and try something different. But I think one of the things is that a lot of successful people, they start before they really fully feel ready. And by starting and by consistently being active and by just trying, that's the learning process. So what I think you want to get away from is the always just thinking forever. Ideas are a dime a dozen. You have friends that come up with, I have an idea for a new app or a new business or a new this and that. Like, how many of them actually ever do it? And I think that sometimes you just have to start, and like, I can't even tell you how many different little websites or YouTube channels I've started over the years. And many of them, they just fizzled out because I think you start to learn after a little while, oh, this is what this type of work is going to be like. Like, for instance, each project, each different idea is going to have a different amount of, editing or customer service or whatever the business is. It's going to have different types of things that you're going to need to do on a daily basis. And some of those you're going to realize along the path, and maybe it's a good fit for you, maybe you enjoy it, or maybe it's just not the right thing. But sometimes when it clicks and you start getting good feedback from people, and, let's say you don't really know until you try it. I think I'm a huge fan of that. I wish personally I could try out, everything in the world. I'm sure there's probably some other idea or business or even like playing a sport that I could be really good at. But how are you ever going to have the time to try everything? You're really not. But you can at least try some of the things that you're passionate about, or some of the ideas that you want to try. I really encourage you to just go for it. And it's totally normal if your first attempt is bad. This happens to everyone. And even me, like trying to be more on camera and doing things like this, you get nervous and you might stumble, or you might not even be able to think of what to say. But for me, I think that is part of the fun of it. And what I'm realizing for myself is that I don't even like editing. So my new thing is just going to be like no editing, unless at some point if I pay someone to do the editing, that's fine. But there's so many other things that I want to do that I don't want to be the one that's just doing that part of it. So like I was saying, if the first thing you do is bad, that's fine. You'll get better. It's just practice. Like everything, you have to keep practicing to get better. And so lastly, to get back to the psychological and the philosophical part of it, these are the things like overcoming fear, overcoming ego, practicing courage. These are the things that they compound over time. And it's like, I like to think of it as just like a muscle in your brain or a muscle in your body, something that you can build and you can grow. And so the more that you practice overcoming these insecurities, then the better and better you're going to get at it. So it's just like how money compounds when you're investing, or so many other things. Your courage will compound, and you will get more and more comfortable. And so you just have to start from somewhere. And the first time will be hard, but think about this. It's the vast majority of people, they never even start. So if you just get started, and you just, you know, put yourself out there a little bit, there's lots of ways to do it with very low risk. Most of my first websites were all hosted on completely free domains, and you know, so that was very low risk. You can start YouTube channels or social media pages, or you can even, if you want to be a freelancer or do something along those lines, you can sign up for pretty much free and just kind of test the waters and see what's out there. So that's pretty much it for this video. I won't keep rambling on and on, but thank you so much for watching. See you soon.